Okay, folks, we are back, and it's time for Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo, Part 7. So this is an extra room. It's not really mandatory that you go here, but you do see some folks that worship Magus. The extra things that are in this game, that is kind of what compels you to play this game more than once or twice, because I've actually seen the end of this game several times, but a lot of times when you watch this game be played, you do not get all the dialogue. So I'm trying to do that so you get the complete package. Now, obviously, the whole point of watching LPs is for each person's style. Mine's not going to be very, ironic humor, that sort of thing, but, RPGs are kind of hard to do with that. So there's just so many things. Really, you are going to get this experience of Chrono Trigger. Now these statue things, the gargoyle things with the purple wings, they're a little bit tougher, but the Nagaets are also probably the ones you want to take out first, just because they do the slow spell. But Luca is going to be pretty weak in the beginning. So that's the only thing is, obviously, partially it's because she's female that her physical attacks are weaker, but really it's just because we haven't gotten the weapon. So it's just a combination of the two. But, I will definitely see to it that Luca is strong, because we're going to need all three party members. I mean, I have never beaten this game head to soul, and I just think it could be really, you have to use some form of strategy in order to do it, and that's definitely a thing. So, but Chrono, really, I mean, you may think that he's like the balanced character, but the thing is his stats are not bad. The only problem with it is I just want those power up things, the tab ones, the power ones, the magic ones. Obviously having those is going to make you a little bit more effective, but really you need a guidebook to know where all those are. So we still got more fights. Now, I think in the future I'm going to skim through this so you don't have to watch every battle, because I do understand that gets tiresome. I actually do start running from some of these enemies in future videos, but this thing is... So I think the bestiary, I think that's how you say it, bestiary, bestiary. There's pretty much over maybe 50 some odd enemies in this game, and they're all pretty creative. That's the thing about it, you find yourself fighting monster snakes and that sort of thing. I mean, Chrono Trigger, that's what it is, really. This would be one of the first RPGs I recommend you try. Between this and Mario RPG, I wouldn't start with Earthbound just because the status effects really make it hard, and you only have one party member for a decent amount of the time, but until you get further in the story. But still, these are games that you need to play. And it's the same thing with the PlayStation. I mean, I went on GameFAQs, and I was just curious what the best game, the highest rated games were for the Sony PlayStation. So many of them were role-playing games, and if I said this before, I mean, it's just because I've forgotten, but really, yeah. So like Final Fantasy VII, all of these, I mean, I swear I said this before, but PlayStation, I'm just trying to find out what games are actually better for it, because Metal Gear Solid and Tomb Raider, I actually own Tomb Raider, I own Final Fantasy VII, which I may do on this channel at some point, but it's not going to be in the immediate future. Tomb Raider, so many other games. I mean, really, there's just the PlayStation has over 1,000 games made for it, and obviously owning just 50 games takes up a couple shelves worth of your space that you may have, so you really gotta pick. This makes me wonder how, how many games people actually bought for the PlayStation. But I don't know who composed the music in this game, because, a lot of these games that I played, 10 years ago, somehow they stand out with music more than the ones that I started playing just a couple months ago or something. So I guess, in ways I'm getting used to Earthbound's music. I like some of it, but, like, I'm just so used to Chrono Trigger. But, that's just an extra thing, really, to pay attention to, is if you go on Wikipedia or something, you could look up who composed the music for Chrono Trigger, and, obviously the real trick to it is figuring out what other games he's composed, or she, might be a female. So there's a power tab. I don't know. I mean, obviously getting too obsessed with video game music, there's, some boundaries, but it's just more in the sense of just, not having to put on mute, because, some people may listen to other music while playing this game, and, that's always choice, but, the problem with it is you kind of forget that you're playing a video game. That's just how I felt, you listen to music and it feels like you're doing something else, but you don't really know what's going on. This is a fairly deep game. I mean, really, it's shorter than Final Fantasy III. That's the thing, is it's not the longest, but it's still quite big. It's probably larger than a lot of Nintendo 64 games and that sort of stuff. Not PlayStation, because it had 3 discs. But alright, so we're gonna finish up. I've obviously got more, so part 8 and beyond will come soon. Definitely subscribe for more fun.